PSCL playoffs, it all starts here. Game number 2 of the day at the stadium. Welcome on in, everybody, to the broadcast. Stephen Buxton, EJ Sanchez joining you here today, and we've got a good matchup. It should be a good one. It's the Rush going against MLB DC China. For the Rush, their defense looks like this. Anderson, Palmer, and Bautista in the outfield. Cunningham, McCormick, Duarte, Dawson from left to right in the infield. Behind the plate is Daniel Cuadras, and on the mound, who else but Tommy Mitchell out of Hawaii Pacific. The big lefty will face off against the MLB DC China roster. Leading off is He Shin, Pen Yi Zhan, Zhao Luan, the top 3. Owen Stevenson, he was an all-star hitting cleanup. Liu Chung Shun, Jun Wei Shin, Tai Jane Fung, 5 through 7. Yuo Yang, Sung Ja Chi, and Zhou Shinpin round off the bottom 5 of the lineup. And EJ coming off an incredible game in Game 1 today. It was Bombers and Colonials, and that one went to extras.
It was a fun game, and what it proved to us, Steven, is that the regular season is one thing. It does not matter once you get to the postseason. It's going to be another fun one.
And the regular season behind us now, as that one's chopped off the end of the bat, running down to first, and they can't get there in time. Tried for the 3-1 put out, but Mitchell couldn't catch up, in He Shin with a hustle infield single.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You know what you want to do until something happens. The old adage from Mike Tyson, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. We saw earlier with the Bombers over the Colonials, China looking to make their imprint early on to try to get to a very talented Rush pitching staff.
Immediately, Pen Yi Zhan with a runner on and no outs, and it's strike one. Fastball fired in there at 76.
This has been a theme that MLB DC China really has started to play some better games, some tighter ball games. The hitting's always been there.
Chopper back to the mound, and that's going to get through for another hit. Back-to-back singles, and it's 2 on for Zhao Luan.
This is exactly what we're saying, stringing things together. Everybody has a new revitalized sense of belief once you get to the playoffs. And right here, Ziyan just takes a really nice pitch up the middle, doesn't try to do too much. It finds a hole. You never really know what's going to happen as you're starting to get a pinch runner, your courtesy runner, the first one of the game, as Leo Chin-Shi will run at second base.
And already coming off that last game with the Bombers and Colonials, a game where a handful of guys didn't get the ball out of the infield but got multiple hits, and China's got 2 on, and Zhao Luan squares up to bunt, and it's foul. 0-1 now.
This situation really plays into what DC China wants to do. They have been one of the more small ball-oriented teams, so I'm not surprised, even with the power of Luan, that they're squaring around to bunt to try to get extra guys in scoring position.
The Rush managed by Zach Novus, and Tommy Mitchell on the mound fires in ball 1. It's 1-1 now, still no outs. Tommy Mitchell, 3.06 ERA on the season. He's been outstanding. 5 innings in his last start against MLB China DC, and they won 12-3. 1-1 now. Squares up to bunt. That's in the air, and Mitchell gets that, trying to throw down. Everyone's safe. He won't throw. As soon as that ball got in there, He Shin and Pen Yi Zhan immediately sprinted back to their bases. It's a 1 unassisted to get the first out of the game in the playoffs.
Well, that's so important in that situation because you need to get an out regardless, and you are able to force a bunt that goes up, and you're able to do it without the advancement of the runners. So really the first break that goes in the direction of the Rush, but now you have a tough customer in Owen Stevenson stepping in.
Owen Stevenson, the all-star for MLB China, 1 of 3. Drives that one up the middle for a base hit. Runners will go 90 feet, stop sign at third. He Shin at third, Pen Yi Zhan at second, and Owen Stevenson at first. 3 singles to start the day for MLB DC China.
He has been so fun to watch. 103 miles an hour off the bat of Stevenson. Had 2 hits in the PSCL All-Star game against the Palm Springs Power on Thursday, and he just continues to do it. You talk with some of the fans, they're asking who number 25 is for MLB DC China, and he's showing why he's garnering all that kind of attention.
Owen Stevenson, an imposing figure at the plate, well above 6'4", well above 200 pounds, sitting right around 240. He's got the body of an MLB player, and he sure hits it like one. Again, 103 off the bat, and it's now Lau Chung-shun with bases loaded, and it's 1-1.
The approach here has to be to lift something in the air, Steven, because staying out of a double play ball is important. And even though if it's just one, getting one on the board would be huge going against a team like the Rush.
1-1 pitch. Outside off the corner, it's 2-1. And this is a season where, for MLB China, just like the Bombers, it doesn't matter what happened in the regular season. They had a tough go at it, and everything's a race now. It's the playoffs, and it's 2-2 now for Chung-shun. The Rush coming into the game, second place in the Southern Division, 10-7-1. MLB China DC 4-14, and that one's in the air and gets into the outfield for a hit. 1 run comes in. Coming around third is Pen Ziyan. He'll score. It's 2-0 China.
Not doing too much. It's been the theme so far of this first inning. This is a beautiful pitch on the outside corner. It might just be a better swing than better pitch. And taking advantage of it is Shun, just sending it the other way. If there is anything that DC China has been able to hang their hat on since arriving here to Palm Springs, it's been the ability to hit for contact and for power. We've seen it so far today, and what a wake-up call this is for Zach Novus as he takes a mound visit.
Zach Novus talking to Tommy Mitchell out there, trying to, whether or not it's giving a scouting report or just getting his mind off of what's just happened, trying to get things going their way. It's going to be Jun Wei Shin with 2 runners on and a 2-0 lead against the number 2 seed in the South.
It's not just in this game, Steven, but the Haymakers making it close with the A's on the backfield in the first game of the day. The Coyotes currently leading the Bootleggers on the backfield. We'll be getting updates on those games as they become available. It's just the playoff atmosphere lends itself to big and wacky moments.
Here's the pitch, and that one's fouled back straight at us. We almost had another ball, EJ.
I stood up. I abandoned my broadcasting job. I had a wicked first step, if 3 feet lower, and I'm able to make my second play. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that is absolutely getting bodied.
I love the instincts of the former D3 catcher, and it's 0-1 against Jun Wei Shin, and that one's lifted foul. What a start for MLB China, and for the whole team all year. It was hanging their hats on trying to get adjusted to the American pitching. It was a tough adjustment, but they finally got there. They finally feel confident on the at-bats they're taking. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. First strikeout of the game for Tommy Mitchell. And it's not just the adjustment, but it's a lot of these players are young. There's some guys on this team that are 14, 15, 16, and they're facing off against American college-level pitchers who throw a completely different arsenal than what they're used to seeing. Tai Jane Fung steps in and takes strike 1 on the corner.
This team has aspirations to eventually qualify for the 2028 Olympics, Steven. This is a very small building block that they want to be able to put down as they advance through the next few years. And like you said, these guys facing pitchers that are much older than them is only going to help them should they pursue more careers.
That one's lined into center field and going to hold up, and it's the 3rd out of the inning, but not before MLB China puts up 4 hits and 2 runs, and they're going to go out on defense with a lead. Ha Shin helps himself, helps his own cause with the leadoff single, comes around to score, and he'll go out trying to put up a 0 against the Rush. We'll be right back on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
We just got our best ever ratings from U.S. News and World Report. We're the #1 hospital in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. High performing in 17 common procedures from joint replacements to heart attack care. And for the first time, national ranking as high performing in 3 adult specialties. We're proud of these ratings, but what matters most, as always, is how we rate with you. Learn more at eisenhowerhealth.org/awards.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
We're back in Palm Springs for Game 1 of the PSCL playoffs. Game 2 today of the day on the stadium, but Game 1 for MLB China DC and the Rush, the number 2 seeded Rush, down 2-0 as the home team in the first inning, facing off against Hush Shin for MLB China DC, and that one's lined into right field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Leadoff single for Hunter Anderson.
At a certain point, you start to just laugh whenever Hunter Anderson does that because that's what he's been doing all season long. He wasted no time before we could introduce, a .613 batting average for Hunter Anderson. He was the starting left fielder for the PSCL All-Stars a few days ago in left field, the leadoff man. And he has been the best table setter, bar none, in the PSCL over the last month.
And he sets the table for Colin McCormick, playing shortstop today, batting second, with a runner on first and no outs. The Rush, one of the best offenses in the PSCL this season, scored 112 runs this year, and it's strike 2 now on Colin McCormick. Top 3 of the lineup for the Rush, it's Hunter Anderson, Colin McCormick, Caden Dawson, Santiago Duarte cleaning things up, and Nathan Cunningham in the 5-hole, and that ball's upstairs for ball 1.
It's going to be important today for Hush Shin to make sure he's competitive on both sides of the plate. This Rush team, if you give them a couple of pitches to hone in on, whether it be the inside corner or the outside half, they are going to adjust. It may not be the first time through, but if you continue to do that, they're going to be able to do some damage and put balls in alleyways, which has been their calling card so far this year.
1-1 pitch from Hush Shin, and that one's fouled back into the stands. After Duarte, it's Nathan Cunningham in the 5-hole, Sky Palmer, Alan Serna, Alec Bautista, 6 through 8, and Daniel Quadras rounding things off at the 9-hole. The Rush only batting 9 today. 1-2 pitch to Colin McCormick. Too high, it's ball 2 now.
And we talked about the Rush being very well and disciplined when it comes to their at-bats. They aren't going to chase a whole lot, and that's one of the things that Zach Novas really wanted his team to embody.
Swing and a miss, gets a chase there. First strikeout of the day for Shin. Colin McCormick goes down, and it's Caden Dawson now. Hunter Anderson on first after the leadoff single. The guy who, if you're looking at a PSCL game and you're expecting someone to get a hit, it was going to be Hunter Anderson. At one point, hitting nearly 800 towards the end of the year.
It's just incredible to watch him work, and not only early in the count, but he's great at fighting off pitches late as well, and he's really turned into a really well-rounded hitter, even when he started. Just from the progress he's made from the middle of June to now has really been fun to watch.
Caden Dawson fought that one off, and it's 0-1. Fought off an 85-mile-an-hour fastball down and away. Second pitch inside, almost at the feet. And they're going against Shin, who on the year just had 2 pitching appearances, 3.6 ERA. It was one good one against the Rush and one bad one against the Blue Sox. Against the Rush, he just allowed 1 earned run. That one's lined up the middle for a base hit. Runners will go 90 feet, and it's first and second with 1 out for Santiago Duarte.
This lineup's so dangerous because they can hurt you in all different kinds of ways with not only gap-to-gap double hitting, but also just staying up the middle and using all sides of the field. And Caden Dawson does a really nice job here of taking a pitch that isn't a bad pitch on the lower quadrant of the zone on the outside corner, but still able to put a barrel to it. And he's also been relied upon very well over the summer for Zach Novas.
Santiago Duarte facing off against Shin. He's got Anderson at second. Fouls that one right off of Yi Zhan's mask.
Out of the hand at 89 miles an hour. This is a different type. I don't know if it is the playoffs playing a role in it, but this is a different Shin on the mound than we've been accustomed to seeing.
Shin usually sitting in the low to mid 80s, but dials up 89 right there, and 78-mile-an-hour breaking ball in the dirt. It's ball 1. Hunter Anderson on first, Hunter Anderson on second, Caden Dawson on first, and on a day where the Bombers, who were hitting right around 200 on the year, started off with a 4 spot on the top of the first inning, it's looking like both offenses are going to get off to a hot start today. 1-1 pitch, Anderson running, and that ball gets by Zhan. Takes a hard turn around third. Caden Dawson will take second, and it's a 2 in scoring position for Santiago Duarte.
When playing the Rush, you nearly have to play a perfect game. And allowing free passes such as wild pitches like that, it might have been a cross-up actually, and it's going to be that much harder to beat a team that's a 2 seed for a reason.
Yeah, it looks like it might have crossed up Zhan behind the plate because that ball caught a lot of the zone, but because of how far across he had to go for that one, he doesn't get the strike call. Here's the pitch to Duarte. Did he go? And they got him. Rung him up on the check swing. Went around on a curveball off the plate. We've got 2 outs here in the inning.
Well, if you have a fastball that's running up to 89, if you drop in a slider at 79, I'm going to make it that much harder to try to barrel up a ball. And that's not an easy customer in Santiago Duarte, who came in today batting .407.
Nathan Cunningham, a very dangerous bat here with 2 outs. Sends that one foul down the right field line into the park. And when I say he's dangerous, he might have the hardest hit ball in the PSCL this season. Almost 100 miles an hour, and he sent that one 405 over the left center field wall against the Bootleggers in their last game of the season. It's 0-1 now to Cunningham. Watch his ball 1.
Well, he's second on the team in hits. The only guy he trails is Hunter Anderson. He's just had a fine way of finding barrels, and it's on multiple pitches. He's not just keying in on a fastball. He's hit a multitude of breaking balls. That's what makes him so difficult to pitch to.
Out of Wayne State, hit .359 this year. An OPS over 1,000, and he's got 2 strikes on him. Drops in the slider in the inside upper half of the zone. Good pitch right there.
Not being scared to throw that breaking ball in the inside half could be key in making sure that Shin is able to give DC China distance today.
1-2 pitch. Skied up in there, foul down the first base line. That's going to go into the stands. And EJ, you mentioned it earlier. MLB China DC, they're a great story. A lot of great guys on that team, and we'll continue to fill you in throughout the broadcast. But their head coach, Ray Chang, it's one of the best stories in all of baseball, widely considered one of the greatest Chinese players of all time. Trying to take this team on a run here. 1-2 count. Almost hit some slider, slipped out of the hand. Cunningham had to get out of the way of it, almost got him in the head.
And depending on how the outcome goes, Nathan Cunningham might just think about taking it off. It looked like it would have hit him in the upper back, but now we have a 2-2 count, and still Shin, who has been dealing early with both pitches.
Shin with the 2-2 pitch. Outside, it's full. Trying to put up a 0. He's got 2 in scoring position. Hunter Anderson on third, Caden Dawson on second. They both advanced on the wild pitch. Hunter Anderson was stealing third, and he was safe thanks to that, and Caden Dawson just walked over to second after the pitch got by Zi Yan. Full count pitch. In the dirt, ball 4 gets by Zi Yan, and the Rush have a run. It's 2-1 now. Hunter Anderson comes in to score. Caden Dawson to third. Nathan Cunningham at first. Sky Palmer coming up.
This hurts especially for Ray Chang right now because the Rush, even though they do have the 2 hits, the advancement after those 2 base hits are what hurts because these are 3 wild pitches, and a couple of them look like they could have maybe been blocked. It's such a tough day to be blocking, with the conditions right now, and it just hurts a little that much because you're trying to hold a Rush lineup that's making things a lot harder for you already.
Sky Palmer steps up in the box out of Walla Walla Community College. Lines that one up the middle. Straight to shin pin. Throw down to first in time. Gets the third out of the inning, but the Rush have it within 1. We'll be right back for the top of the second inning here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Like a family setting, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family-oriented. They cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Two to 1 ball game here in the top of the second inning. Tommy Mitchell going out after giving up 2 runs on 4 hits against MLB China DC. Welcome back into the broadcast, everyone. Stephen Buxton joined by EJ Sanchez here for some PSCL playoff action. Leading things off will be 8, 9, and 10 for MLB China DC's lineup. They sent 7 to the plate in the first inning. Again, scored 2 runs against Tommy Mitchell. Yuo Yan playing third base will lead things off. Seung-Ja Chi and Jo Shin Pin due up after him if they can reach. It's the top of the lineup again. Shin had a leadoff single and scored in the first inning. But right now it's Yuo Yan. Number 3 for China takes strike 1. It's 0-1 now. 0-2 now as the fastball catches the outer half of the plate. Tommy Mitchell out of Hawaii Pacific on the year. 17 strikeouts. It's 1-2 now. 17 strikeouts, 18 walks. He needs to get that under control if he can give the rush some length today. He pitched 9 innings. He allowed 9 runs in 17 2/3 innings. It's 1-2 now. Almost gets a chase there. A little bit of a check swing by Yuo Yan. Mitchell's best appearance, his last one against MLB China. 5 innings, allowed just 1 run, struck out 4. 2-2 pitch. Chopper down to third. Bobbled by Cunningham at third. It's going to be an E5 and another leadoff base runner for MLB China.
It's a tough luck one, too, because I don't think that Nathan Cunningham really did anything wrong. It hits the lip between the cut of the grass on the third base side, and it takes a bad hop on him, and he had his glove down perfectly fine, but just hopped up along his arm, and it's just a tough break for the rush already.
Fresh count for Seung-Ja Chi, the 9-hole hitter, and he drives that one into left field over the head of Anderson and to the wall. Rounding second, going to third is Yuo Yan. He'll stop there. It's a back-to-back hits to start the inning for MLB China. Almost an RBI double, just a double off the wall for Seung-Ja Chi.
Don't tell MLB China that they are underdogs in this game. They're certainly not playing like it. This ball is clubbed 94 miles an hour off the bat, goes 350. Maybe a couple extra curls in the weight room yesterday, Steven, and that has a chance to be a 2-run home run. This is a different MLB China team that we've grown to seeing, and we are loving to watch it.
It's Jo Shin Pin now with 2 in scoring position, swings through the first pitch breaking ball down low. And what a start for them. Again, a game where, let's just face it, they aren't the betting favorite to win this game, but they jump out to the 2-0 lead, and now they've got a chance to put more on the board, but Jo Shin Pin, he's down 0-2 now after swinging through a breaking ball again over the heart of the plate.
They're just attacking the fastball right now of Mitchell, and Mitchell's left a couple too many in the zone.
Fastball upstairs, it's ball 1.
2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, and the Coyotes are taking the lead right now over the Bootleggers on the turf field. It will be the first big upset of this tournament.
And welcome to the playoffs. Seung-Ja Chi has not had an extra base hit until today, and there's a strikeout for Jo Shin Pin. Second K of the day for Tommy Mitchell. We've got 1 out here in the second.
It's really early to start playing this game. We're only in the second inning, Steven, but I'd be interested to see how Zach Novus decides to play his infield here. As of right now, it's just Caden Dawson that's playing even with the grass. Everybody else, it looks like if you get a ground ball anywhere else, you're going to score a run.
Shin trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and add some run insurance to his effort today. The pitcher facing off against Mitchell today. Trying to possibly chase a starter early, add up on that pitching count, and put up another crooked number for MLB China. It's 0-1 now. Shin, the leadoff man for China, hit .244 on the year and watches that one outside. It's 1-1 now.
It's a China team that didn't tear the cover off the ball. They only sitting at 233, but if there was a guy that was consistent at the top of their lineup other than Owen Stevenson, it was Hushin.
1-1 pitch, driven down to third base. That's bobbled again by Cunningham. He'll take the tag on Seung-Ja Chi, but one run comes in to score. Yu Oh-Yan, and we've got a runner on first for China. It's 3-1.
A tough couple of hops that Nathan Cunningham has had to deal with at third, but he does the wise thing here, and he realizes that Seung-Ja Chi was caught in the middle of the base path, and he's still able to get an out, and it's still a big out in this situation.
So Seung-Ja Chi out. Yu Oh-Yan comes in to score. Hushin at first, and it's Pen Zi-Yan at the plate. Zi-Yan allowed Hunter Anderson to score with the passed ball in the first inning. Trying to almost eliminate that here. Second pitch swings through it.
Pen Zi-Yan at 316 on the season. He is actually tied for second on the team in hits. Again, only trailing the man behind him in Leo Chung-Shung.
0-2 with 2 outs. Runner will go fastball high, gets away into the outfield. Hushin to third, and it's 1-2 with a runner on third now for Pen Zi-Yan.
This is such a hard thing for me to write in my scorebooks, Steven, but it does have to go down as an error on Daniel Cuadras by no fault of his own. Nobody was home. Colin McCormick and Santiago Duarte, I don't think the communication was there on who had the base, and it leads to an extra one, and anything not careful, it could lead to another run for China.
Stolen base and throwing it to Casper. And that one's chopped up the middle. That'll be fielded by Duarte. Throw down to first in time to get him. Rush get out of the inning, but not before China tack on another run. It's a 2-run ball game going into the bottom of the second here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in-app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back for PSCL baseball action. 3-1 lead for MLB China. DC Hushin going back out for his second inning of work. Allowed a run on 2 hits in the first inning. That run scored on a passed ball, and he'll face off against 7, 8, and 9 of the Rush lineup. Alan Serna leading things off on a day full of action-packed baseball, EJ.
Not only the game we had earlier that we mentioned, a walk-off for the Colonials over the Bombers, but also on the backfield right now. We have a 2-2 ball game between the Coyotes and the Bootleggers, with the Bootleggers an opportunity to walk it off. So action all over the field, all over the complex. There's no better place to be for us than right here, Steven.
First pitch to Alan Serna, outside, ball 1, and we already saw one team walk it off. Again, the Colonials walked off over the Bombers. A couple good games on the backfield went on. The A's had to fend off a comeback earlier today, and they'll move on, and it's 1-0. Alan Serna watches ball 2 now.
Well, it also looks like, from our vantage point at least here, the Bootleggers are going back out on defense. So we have extra innings on the backfield. So 2 of the 3 games we've seen so far are headed into extras.
Second extra inning of the day, and Alan Serna out of Grossmont College trying to possibly tie this thing up. Swings through the fastball low and away, and again, Hush in, dialing up 87. He's been sitting in the high 80s so far today. Pulled out 89 a couple times. But he's got a tough batter to beat here. Alan Serna batting a clean 300 on the season. 2-1 pitch. Downstairs, it's ball 3.
You know, Steven, in 4 years, what I really want, there's a lot of things, but I would think there would be nothing cooler than to see Hush In on the mound for a Chinese national team at the 2028 Olympics. He's just so composed, and he's had a really nice summer and now multiple facets. And he has one of the more calm demeanors of the MLB DC China team that we've really had fun getting to know over the last month.
And again, it's the story of the team is here's the 3-1 pitch, fouled down the left field line. And Ray Chang, again, considered up there with, if not the greatest player, one of the greatest players in Chinese history. He reached all the way to AAA. He's coming out of Kansas City, but his family's from China, and he takes so much pride in it. He's trying to build up this Chinese baseball development program to get the first major leaguer out of China. And he played in 3 World Baseball Classics. 3-2 pitch, fouled off the net. He played in 3 World Baseball Classics. In the most recent one, he faced off against Shohei Ohtani. And that's got to be an international career to hang your hat on. It's a career that many would dream of. 3-2 pitch. Chopper up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Diving attempt by Chung Shin. He can't get there, and it's a leadoff hit for Alan Serna.
It's an embarrassment of riches that your 7-hole man in a playoff game is still batting 300. And that's why the Rush, as a team, you see them as their stats start to compile, and they're batting 318 as a team. I mean, that is just insane when you talk about a month's worth of at-bats, regardless of how many games you're playing. But a month's worth of at-bats really points to the fact that this is no blemish or this is no run-of-the-mill team. It's a team that up and through the order 1 through 9, and even the guys that may come off the bench today that can swing the bat and do it in multiple kinds of ways.
And for Ray Chang, it's not just about getting that first major leaguer to the MLB, but it's also improving China's standings in international play in general. China last time out in the World Baseball Classic did not win a game in their pool with Australia, Japan, Korea, and a Czech Republic. It's a great pool that they were in, but he's trying to take some of these guys and just develop them for the next time around, and including guys like Owen Stevenson, guys from America, to go play for the country that their family came from. But now it's Alec Bautista with a runner on first and no outs. That one's lifted, foul down the right field line.
It makes you realize when we're up here in the booth, we're chasing something as well, and you think these are just games going on. But there's a lot bigger purposes being played for, and that's what's been so fun for us in getting to know this China team, getting to know Ray personally. He's been so cordial with us as far as exchanging lineups and having a word in between games, so we really appreciate everything that he's brought here to Palm Springs, even if it is just for these few weeks.
Throw down to first, not in time to get Serna. And it's been an absolute pleasure. Everyone we've dealt with China or with really a lot of these teams has been so nice, but especially this MLB China DC team. Everyone, it's please and thank you. And second pitch upstairs for ball 1. And it's just the little stuff. I mean, everyone I've spoken to seems just grateful to even be talking to you. It's a great team. It's a great group of men. 1-1 pitch. Upstairs, ball 2.
That's the thing that at least I notice when we're out here at 8 a.m. We're right here at 8. They have to be even here earlier to get ready for BP. They're always smiling. There's always a renowned sense of another day of baseball, which is, taken for granted in today's day and age, and that's just another reason we've enjoyed them.
2-1 pitch outside, ball 3, and it's even more impressive considering what they've done this year. They brought over around 40 players, and they're playing as many games as possible. They've played a few exhibitions. They even traveled to Temecula the other day to get some more games in. They're just trying to play as many as physically possible, and it's a grueling schedule. 3-1 pitch. Does not catch the zone. It's ball 4. Looked like that could have got a piece of the play, but it was a borderline pitch.
It was. It's the second free pass issued by Shin. Still no action in the bullpen for MLB DC China. And that's why you see, we joke about it. You see their printed stats having 35, 40, 45-plus guys, and it's because Ray has these guys playing multiple games away from Palm Springs sometimes, and you are going to be relied upon even if you aren't one of the main starters.
For a comparison, the Rush have 16 players that have recorded a batting stat so far this year. MLB China DC has 34.
We've enjoyed scoring them.
Daniel Quadras steps up to the plate. He's got 2 on and no outs. Runner on second is Alan Serna. On first is Alec Bautista. Quadras drives that one into the right center field gap. Coming in on a long run is Jia Chi. He catches it, tagging up to third, and out is Alan Serna. What a throw from center field.
You take off from second if you're Serna because it's an awkward angle that Giachi has to come on and take it. So this is not a bad send. What is incredible is the throw and maybe even the pick on the back end by Yu-Oh Yan. This is not an easy infield to play those kind of hops off of, Steven. He still stays down with it on one hop. What a turnaround and what a play defensively for MLB DC China.
EJ, already the second outfield assist we've seen today, and that might be the best. Jia Chi cuts down what could have been another run for the Rush. Alan Serna thought he had third easy, and what an off-balance throw. Hunter Anderson, the leadoff man up. Flies that one above the infield. Coming in on it is Chung Shun. He passes that off to Yu-Oh Yan, and he'll haul that one in for the third out of the inning, but an exciting one it was. We'll be back for the top of the third.
Two locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
Welcome back. Top of the third inning here in Palm Springs, and an incredible game going on so far. 3-1 MLB China. They're trying to extend their lead against Tommy Mitchell. And EJ, we just saw the second outfield assist of the day already. Daniel Quadras flew out to center field, and ranging over was Jia Chi. He made an off-balance throw and delivered an absolute seed.
The pick on the back end was just equally as impressive, and the defense for MLB DC China kind of has been what has gotten them to this 4-14 record, but there's been no signs of it yet today. They've played above average baseball.
Jia Luan crushes that ball into right field. That's going to get down and roll all the way to the wall. Around second, he's going for 3. Throw not even in the infield, and he's got a stand-up triple. Lead-off stand-up triple for MLB China DC, and Owen Stevenson coming up. Still no movement in the rush pen. It's 4-1 now, or it's 3-1 still. Owen Stevenson gets hit by the first pitch, and he'll take first. Liu Chung Shun with a great chance to make it 4-1. Liu Chung Shun stepping in. He's 1 for 1 so far. Had a 2 RBI single in the first inning. With runners on the corners, takes ball 1. This is an MLB China team that scored just 70 runs this season, allowed 144 against them, but they've shown they're ready to play, they're ready to hang with the best that the PSCL has. The Rush, one of the better teams in the league. Again, they're coming in 10-7-1, finished just second place in the Southern Division to the Lumberjacks. Here's the pitch. It's down and ball 2. The Lumberjacks, again, the number 1 seed, they'll be facing off against the lowest remaining seed left. So if MLB China wins, they'll have a date with Sam DiMatteo and his Lumberjacks,
who scrimmaged yesterday in an unofficial game, so very familiar. He takes kind of like the shock aspect out of it, and you have two teams that are very familiar with each other in a game that really means everything.
Haymakers A's game going on right now. We'll get updates going on. We'll get updates for that one in the back, or that one just ended. Haymakers lost, A's won, but we'll get updates on the Coyotes bootleggers in the backfield. And on 4 pitches, Liu Chung Shun walks, and it's bases loaded, no outs. China sending Jun Wei Shin to the plate.
Just dangerous territory right now, and Jun Wei Shin having an opportunity to really put the dagger to something right now, and it's a scary spot to be in. You have to think about how Mitchell's going to approach this.
Derek Ball warming up now in the Rush bullpen. But there's no outs, and that one's driven into right field. Going back on it is Anderson. That's going to be hauled in for the running catch. Coming in to score is Zhao Lu An from third. He'll tag up, and it's a sacrifice fly for Jun Wei Shin.
It doesn't have to be a double in the gap. You just have to have productive outs, especially when you're playing a team that people would say are favored to win. It's a heck of a catch in left field by Hunter Anderson, but smartly, Joe Luan doesn't get too excited. He stays on the base and makes sure an out's recorded before he starts to go.
It was a great catch, running backwards, had to stick the glove out, almost off balance, almost got past him. But he managed to haul it in, and a big first out in the inning. Runners on first and second. It's Owen Stevenson on second, Liu Chung Shun on first. Tai Jane Fung steps in. That one's slapped into right field and going to get down for a base hit. Stevenson coming around third. Throw will not be in time. It's 5-1 China.
This is what the playoffs are about, Steven. Underdog stories. MLB China, who has been a great story, they're turning into a great playoff team before our eyes. And Tai-Jane Fung takes a pitch inside half and just flicks his hands. He knows he doesn't have to hit it hard. He knows he just has to get the barrel to it, not trying to do too much. And it's been the story of the afternoon so far for MLB DC China, who has punched the 2-seed Rush in the mouth.
The Rush going to have to scramble a little bit, down 4 already, and it might be the end of Tommy Mitchell's day coming soon. Fires in a first pitch strike to Yuo Yan, who reached on an error in the second and scored. It was an E5 that he reached on, trying to get his first hit of the day. And he's got runners on the corners. 0-1 pitch. Up high, it's ball 1. Again, Liu Chung-shun on third. Tai-Jane Fung on first after the RBI single. 1-1 pitch from Mitchell. In the dirt, ball 2.
This can be a patient at bat, and I still think it's early, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Ray put something on as he goes through his signs at third base. You have the safety squeeze. That's an option here. You can have a runner going just to force the Rush to make a decision.
2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball got him. And running on the play, Tai-Jane Fung takes second. So more importantly, they've got 2 in scoring position with just 1 out. It's a 2-2 count. Mitchell kicks and fires. Yuo Yan gets that one off the hands, and it's foul.
5-2 Coyotes heading into the bottom of the 8th on the backfield. That would be certainly the first upset we've seen, but one brewing here. And what's more important about that stolen base is it takes the double play out of the situation.
2-2 pitch. Yuo Yan sends a chopper up to second base. Fakes the throw to home, down to first. Trades an out for a run, so we've got 2 outs now. But it's 6-1 MLB China. Liu Chung-shun comes in to score. Tai-Jane Fung to third. And there's a runner on third for Seung-Ja Chi.
Jung-Wei Shin and Yuo Yan, neither of them clearing a base hit into the gap, but they're having, again, these outs that are turning into runs because of what the heart of your order did leading off this inning. That's going to be the key to success if MLB DC China wants to hold on.
That one's lined right to second base. Throw to first in time to end the inning. Santiago Duarte collects that, and MLB China puts up 3. It is 6-1. China will go to the bottom of the third here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the third inning here in Palm Springs for the PSCL playoffs, and what a start it's been for MLB DC China. 6-1 now on 7 hits, no errors against the Rush with 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 errors already. Colin McCormick, the number 2 batter, leading things off here in the third for the Rush. Facing off against Hushin, who's been outstanding so far today. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. He stole a base as well. Hushin kicks and fires to McCormick, and that one's downstairs for ball 1.
You have the all-star Jonathan Haynes warming in the bullpen for MLB DC China, and this might be a situation where Ray Chang was not expecting Hushin to go deep into the game. He really was trying to use him as an opener, and if that's the case, that would be a great spot to be in with a 5-run lead and your best pitcher, to be quite honest with you, warming in the bullpen.
It's a fine act that these teams got to play, being able to preserve some of their pitchers. There's a chance they could use Hushin in a later game if he doesn't throw too many pitches. He's had a pretty easy day so far, but it's a 2-0 count, and line drive to Shin Pin at second, throw down to Liu at first, and it's a quick first out for MLB China DC. Caden Dawson coming up.
Well, it's way too early to start counting outs, but it would be unnatural if a team, and this is what you feel like as an underdog, once you see a first out of an inning recorded, you start to believe in your head that this really could happen. And even though that's in the minds, I'm sure, the young men down there, Ray Chang understands there's a long way to go against a Rush team that, to be quite honest, gets better as the game goes on, and that's been what they've done throughout the year and what's made them so tough to beat.
Again, MLB China DC coming into the game last in their division, but they make the playoffs, and they're doing what they can with it, playing with house money and a 5-run lead right now.
You don't want to be overly dramatic about it, but the adage is that there's nothing scarier or nothing more frightening to play than someone or something that has nothing to lose. And MLB China is here for reps and experience. They're not playing for necessarily a championship, as this one's fouled back to the screen. They came for the exposure. And if that wins come along with it, then great. And now you're in a situation where you can find a way to get both.
Caden Dawson with a hit here. He reached third in the first inning on his single, and he's hitting .294 on the year. Did not have a hit in the last game against the Bootleggers. 1-1 pitch from Hushin. Breaking ball drops into the zone. It's 1-2 now. And EJ, that breaking ball has worked all day for Hushin.
And I don't think the Rush were expecting him to lead with it, and that's why you're not seeing as comfortable of swings being taken on it.
1-2 pitch. Hushin kicks and fires. Another breaking ball catches the zone. It's not strike 3. 81 fell from the heavens and caught a lot of the plate, but Hushin gets squeezed there, and it's new life for Caden Dawson. 2-2 pitch. Up and high, it's 3-2 now.
It's a tough call that goes against MLB DC China. It's even more important now for Hushin to refine after a call that doesn't go his way and force Caden Dawson to beat you.
Everyone on the building thought that was a strike, but Caden Dawson still alive. Full count pitch. Catches the zone. It's a strikeout. Fastball on the bottom end corner of the plate gets him looking.
John DeCesar is our home plate umpire, and even though he got some flack from the Rush dugout, that is a very good call, and especially in that type of situation after he misses the one high, the conversation that happens that if that's high, well, then that can't be low. And he follows through on it, so you have to applaud our home plate umpire, and you have to applaud Hushin even more, who's an out away from a clean third.
Santiago Duarte, who also struck out to Hushin, fouls that one back off the net. It's 0-1 now, and again, Hushin blowing 88, 89 consistently today. He has not thrown this hard for most of the season. 0-1 pitch. Doesn't get the zone, it's ball 1. Again, he's been mostly sitting from that 84 to 86 range, but now it's 88, 89. He might hit 90 today. 1-1 pitch. 89 on the black. It's strike 2.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think Shin knows that this is his last inning in place of Jonathan Haynes. So if he has to empty the tank, I'm sure that he's going to be the first person to try to will his way to a 90 and a clean inning in the third.
Again, looking for a clean inning, looking for his first clean inning of the day, and trying to move on with a 5-run lead. Curveball looked like it got a lot of the zone, but that's ball 2 now.
And it's those breaking pitches that are up in the zone, to DeCesar's credit, but they are catching a lot of the play. And I like this from Shin. He's going to take a little lap around the mound to make sure that he can refine himself back in and go against a really dangerous hitter in Duarte.
Santiago Duarte struck out in the first. 2-2 pitch. Line down the right field line, fielded by Luan. And he's just going to toss that back to Shin, and it's 2-2 again. And on that pitch, Shin found 90 in the tank.
Regardless, this could be a successful summer now for Shin. Being able to say that he touches 90, it's a benchmark that all pitchers want to get to.
2-2 pitch. In the dirt, ball 3.
Especially younger pitchers, whenever they're looking for milestones to be able to send to colleges or be able to have our TrackMan technologies back up the fact that they have gone up to this certain velocity. And once you do that, doors start to open and eyes start to get wider in terms of evaluating potential prospects.
Shin, just 18 years old and so full of talent. Full count pitch. Line down the left field line. That's a fair ball and an extra base hit for Santiago Duarte. Rounding first, going to second with a stand-up double.
You cannot fall asleep in this situation if you're MLB DC China. This is not a bad pitch by Shin. Inside corner, honestly, might be a little bit off, but Duarte does such a good job pulling his hands in. And once he gets his foot down, he allows his lower half to take him to the left field line. That's all instinct. And Santiago Duarte, essentially my biggest snub when it came to the All-Star game, batting 400+, and he's able to come up with his 4th double of the season.
First pitch to Nathan Cunningham, lined into center field. Coming in on it is Jia Chi, and no big deal, 3rd out of the inning. Just 1 hit against Shin, and it's a 4-batter inning. MLB China DC going out for the top of the 4th.
Across the Coachella Valley, you'll find our communities powered by short-term rentals. These rentals bring visitors and dollars to the region. Whether attending events, checking out the art scene, or dining at restaurants, when they spend money, we all score. The nearly $1 billion impact of short-term vacation rentals generates tax revenues that fund police, firefighters, education, and many other programs that improve our daily lives. To learn why short-term rentals are a grand slam for the home team, visit onecv.org.
Welcome back here in Palm Springs, 6-1 MLB China DC, and we've got a new man on the mountain. Mitchell's day is done, and Derek Ball stepping in to take things over for the Rush. But we've got an update on the backfield with 2 outs. The Bootleggers are down to their final out. Troy Johnson is up, down 1.
While we watch for those updates, the final line for Tommy Mitchell, he went 3 innings. He gave up 6 runs, 5 of them earned, gave up 7 hits, walked 1, struck out 2, did hit a batter, faced 19 hitters, and now gives way to the utility man Derek Ball to try to put a stop to the bleeding and get his team back to the bat racks.
Derek Ball trying to keep his team in it, trying to give them a chance to extend their season. First pitch to Joe Shinpin, who struck out in the second inning, is outside for ball 1. And looks like the Coyotes have finished off the Bootleggers. Sebastian Jaimes started the game, and their season continues. The Bootleggers are done, though. Coyotes will be facing off against the Blue Sox in their next game. It's 2-0 now against Joe Shinpin. Derek Ball out of Chaparral High School. It's 3-0 now. 82 upstairs. 6'4", 190 pounds. Plays the corner infields and pitches. Hit .315 on the year. And did not allow a run. 3-0 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Another leadoff base runner for MLB China.
It's really been the key to their success today. They're just finding ways, whether it be by the hit or by the walk. And you want to be able to say that for Tommy Mitchell, it was the free passes that came back to bite him, but he only issued 1 walk and he hit 1 guy. 2 free passes. I'm sure he didn't want them, but nothing crazy. It's just been simply that DC China has put a lot of barrels on balls, and that's why you see them with the 6 runs in the 4th.
And now it's their own pitcher, Shin, stepping into the box, and he takes a first pitch strike. Already reached both times. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI on a fielder's choice and a single to lead off the first. Here in the 4th inning, it's an 0-1 count, nobody on. Joe Shinpin at first base. Shin at the plate and slaps that one up in there, and going under that is Daniel Quadras. He'll fight the sun and haul that one in.
It's a huge out because it's not an easy play. Daniel doesn't get turned around, I'm sure, as the way he wanted to, but still finds a way to keep his eyes on the ball, see it all the way into his mitt, and he'll give Penzi Yan a chance, who is 1 for 2 today.
Especially when you're playing here in Palm Springs where there's not a cloud in the sky, the sun's right on you. It's almost a little disorienting trying to go up for that ball. Penzi Yan steps up to the plate. Waiting for the first pitch from Derek Ball, who kicks and fires and deals ball 1. Derek Ball through 5 1/3 innings, allowed just 1 run, 1 run, but it was not earned. Has a 0 ERA, struck out 6, and only walked 2. Last outing was against the Lumberjacks. Throw back down to first, almost gets away. Caden Dawson had to stretch and use every inch of that glove to keep the ball from getting away and keep Joe Shinpin from going to second base. It's a 1-ball count, 1 out here in the 4th inning. Rush against MLB China. Second pitch out of that bat outside for ball 2.
I'm starting to understand why our new pitcher, Derek Ball, is checking on the runner at first. He's a 1.55 to the plate right now, and for those at home, usually you want to be at a 1.2, 1.3, so this means green light time for DC China should they try to swipe a bag.
2-0 pitch. Inside, it's ball 3 now.
And you have somebody on first in Joe Shinpin, one of your middle infielders, that does run well enough. With a 5-run lead, Now you're allowed to push the envelope. You already have your lead. You're not exactly counting base runners and trying to be fine with how you approach your offense. No, you have a chance to really put things up.
3-0 count here to Pen Ziyan, the backstop for MLB China. Here's the pitch, catches the zone. Fastball right over the heart of the plate. 3-1 now. After falling behind 3-0, must have not had the green light to swing there, just waiting until ball threw a strike. 3-1 pitch, outside, ball 4. First walk of the day for Derek Ball, first walk of the day for Pen Ziyan. Zhao Luan, who had that leadoff triple in the 3rd inning right off the wall, came in to score, and he's up now with 2 on.
This is such a tough deal for Zach Novus because your ace, Anthony Sanchez, isn't scheduled to pitch today. You would have liked to use him in the later rounds, but should this game get any more out of hand, you might see emergency duty from him just to try to keep your season alive.
In a 5-run game in the 4th inning with 2 on now, MLB China trying to just keep piling it on, trying to put the Rush out of reach and end their season. Owen Stevenson on deck, Zhao Luan at the plate with Zhou Shinpin at second and Pen Ziyan at first. It's 1-1 now. Again, Zhao Luan hit one of the hardest hit balls you'll see in this park that stayed in, a triple off the bottom of the wall. 2-1 now. Due up next inning for the Rush is Sky Palmer, Alan Serna, and Alec Bautista. That one gets by the backstop. Quadras all the way to the wall. Runners move up. And it's 2nd and 3rd now.
This is what makes it tough for the situation that you're in. A runner at third, that's a free pass. You have a runner at second, that's a free pass. And they would be still on 1st and 2nd if it wasn't for a pitch that got away. Other than laying off pitches out of the zone, DC China hasn't done really anything by their own doing to force this issue to happen, and they're not going to be complaining about it by any stretch of the imagination, but this more just points to the frustrations that continue to add up for the Rush at this point in the game.
Zhao Luan takes ball 4, and it's bases loaded for Owen Stevenson.
I'm sure this is the last spot you want to be in. The bases are loaded via 3 walks. And now you have arguably, no, not even arguably, the most imposing hitter on the team for MLB China up, and you haven't thrown a strike.
One of the most imposing hitters in the whole PSCL, even in the power, he would be one of them. Owen Stevenson, who had 2 hits in the All-Star game and scored.
Fire drill taking place down the left field line. It's Joseph Cook, who's been given the green light by Zach Novus to hurry up his warm-up pitches. He should be the next pitcher in.
Owen Stevenson, though, it's all at the plate. Bases loaded, 1 out. 0-1 count against Stevenson. Skies that one high up in there over the infield. Going in on it is Caden Dawson fighting the sun, and he'll get the 2nd out of the inning.
A dodged bullet for Derek Ball because you have, again, the guy that has more power than anybody in the entire league up. You're able to sky one up into the air and get him to get himself out. Not out of the woods yet. Leo Chung-shun does have an RBI hit already today. But regardless of how this inning turns out, another long inning on defense for the Rush.
Leo Chung-shun with 9 RBIs on the year, trying to add on a few more. Already has one in the first. Has reached both times and hit .333 on the year. He's got 2 outs and bases juiced right now. Zhou Shinpin on third. Pen Ziyan at second. Zhao Luan at first. It's 1-1. Derek Ball trying to escape the jam. 1-1 pitch. Up and away, it's ball 2. China scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, trying to add some on in the fourth. Derek Ball trying to put up the first 0 of the day for Rush pitching. 2-1 pitch. High again, ball 3. It's the top of that zone that's been really hit or miss. Some pitches have been given for strikes. Some pitches have been taken. It's been a real gray area so far. Liu Chung-shun with the 3-1 count. Takes strike 2. Fastball over the heart of the plate.
Well, now you have the advantage of getting runners moving on the pitch. Anything hit to the outfield is sure to score 2 runs. And Derek Ball's only been able to be consistent with his fastball, so you know that Chung-shun can be sitting on one here.
Full count, 2 outs, runners everywhere. Bases loaded, and Chung-shun takes time. Derek Ball, he's set, looking for the sign, kicks and fires. Runners will go. There they go. Chopper down the third base line. Glove by Cunningham, throw down, or he gets the tag for the out. And MLB China with the first 0 of the day. The Rush coming out trying to pull within reach. They're down 5 going into the bottom of the 4th.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
Think of the highest quality you can imagine. Now, think higher.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Welcome back here in Palm Springs. It's 6-1 MLB China, and Hushin back on the mound, working in his 4th inning. And it's been great so far. Just 1 run on 4 hits. The Rush seemingly haven't taken a good swing all day. They've been off balance to Hushin with his fastball sitting in the high 80s. The slider's been working. EJ, what have you seen?
It's strange to say that, but it's true. The 4 hits, none of them are exactly squared up because of the different pitches that Hushin has been able to demonstrate. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fastball that's simply faster than it's been throughout the season. Usually 83, 85. He's run up to 90 today.
87 inside off the hands, and Sky Palmer starts in an 0-1 count. It's 6, 7, and 8 for the Rush. Due up Sky Palmer, Alan Serna, and Alec Bautista. The righty kicks and fires. That one's fouled back almost towards us again, EJ.
Again, another good first step on my part. I'm not going to apologize for making a diving play out of the booth if it were to happen. But to get back to our talk about it, Stephen, the The Rush, you see 4 hits, and you think, oh, they're not doing too bad. It's only the bottom half of the fourth. But this is a Rush team that batted .318 coming into today, and it's not the usual swings we're used to seeing from them.
0-2 pitch outside and down. It's ball 1. Zion did a good job backhanding that, and on a day where catchers have been part of the story, EJ, in both games, a couple pass balls, a couple errors, and a couple unearned runs as that one's floated into right center field. Chasing after that is Jay Fung, and that one falls for a hit. A bad read out in right field, and it's a leadoff single for Sky Palmer.
Ty Jane Fung looked like he was just waiting for Sung Jung Chi to come over and make the play for him, and he seemed to be completely fine with letting his center fielder come in front of him. The only problem is it's a long run. That's straightaway right field where that ball dropped, and you really hope that doesn't come back if you're an MLB DC China fan to haunt them as you get to the later part of this order.
On a day where MLB China has gotten so many of those soft contact hits, so much of it has just been the fact that they've put the ball in play at such a high rate. The Rush finally give them a taste of their own medicine. It's Sky Palmer on first in a 1-0 count against Alan Serna. He's 1 for 1 so far and got thrown out on one of the plays of the year. It's 2-0 now, and that one gets away from Zion. Over to second is Sky Palmer. But again, after Alan Serna reached, he got to second, tagged up on a Daniel Quadras fly out to center, and on an off-balance, awkward throw from center by Jia Chi, he managed to nail Serna at third base. It's one of the best plays you'll see in the PSCL all summer. 2-0 pitch to Serna. Swings through a fastball, strike one, 87 and high, blew it by him.
That high fastball looks a lot more appealing, especially when you're ahead in the count 2-0 because you're looking for a fastball up. The only issue is that's probably not in the zone where Alan Serna can really do the type of damage he would want. And chasing 2-0 when you're chasing base runners is a tough spot to be in. Again, this is uncharted territory for Zach Novus. They haven't faced a deficit like this really all season.
2-1 pitch, slapped out into center field, and a running catch by Jia Chi. Almost had a chance to make a quick throw down to second, possibly doubling up Sky Palmer, but he gets back in time.
Not only is it running on, making a catch on the run, but also this ball is tagged off of the bat at 90 miles an hour, and it has a certain amount of hook to it to where not only is it moving fast, but it's also tailing away from Jung Chi, who does a nice job to make sure that he gets those extra few steps to catch it in the middle of his body.
Alec Bautista up with 1 out, and Sky Palmer on second base, and it's been that kind of day for the Rush. First pitch up high, it's ball 1. They've tagged a few balls. They've really gone into them, but they've either landed for flyouts or just been hard groundouts. Only a handful of hits, just 5 on the day. It's a 1-0 pitch. Before that, Hushin steps off, takes a look at Sky Palmer, and he gets back on the rubber, gets his sign, gets set, kicks and fires. 1-0 pitch, runs in on Alan Serna, almost hits him. 88 on the gun, and couldn't be comfortable for Bautista.
I think Ray Chang is now able to play this a little more fine. I think he was only expecting 3 innings today out of Shin, but now that he's working his way into the fourth, you save yourself for Jonathan Haynes to have 3 clean innings to have to throw.
2-0 pitch, swing and a miss, fouled off. It's 2-1 now. Again, China trying to play Cinderella here, trying to buy themselves a chance to play the Lumberjacks in the next round. And the A's, well, they're sitting here watching and rooting for MLB China DC because that would give them a bye in the second round. If it's the Rush, then they get the bye, and the A's have to play the Lumberjacks. It's 2-1 now. Two and 1 pitch. It's 2-2 now after that's fouled off. Count is even, and Sky Palmer on second. Alec Bautista at the plate. Shin fires. That one's driven out into left field, going back on it his way. Shin, he'll settle under that. 2 outs here in the fourth.
Really could be a huge step for DC China in completing an upset if you give your ace of your staff only 3 innings instead of 4 innings to work with. And Ray Chang has been going back and forth between the visiting bullpen and the dugout to make sure that Jonathan Haynes is kept on a good schedule should he have to come in mid-inning.
It's a real balancing act you have to do while a guy who you didn't expect to go all the way has been masterful so far today. He's got you through 3 2/3, just 1 run, and it's Daniel Quadras at the plate. Fire back to second, not in time to get Sky Palmer. Again, Sky Palmer with the leadoff single reached second. Alan Serna flew out to center, and then Alec Bautista flew out to left field. There's 2 outs here. It's a 6-1 game, bottom of the 4th inning. Quadras' first pitch. Serna's running. Or Sky Palmer running, slides into third safely.
That's one of those stolen bases, Steven, where you have to be 100% on it because you cannot make the last out at third base. But he gets a good enough read. He's been on second for 10 to 15 pitches now, so I'm sure he found a key in on Shin and made him comfortable enough to try to steal a bag down 5.
A good read and a big 90 feet for the Rush, who need everything at this point. It's 2-0 now to Daniel Quadras, who flew out to center in the 2nd inning. If Quadras can get up, they'll turn over the top of the lineup to Hunter Anderson. 2-0 pitch from Shin. Thought about it for a second, and they're going to call that a strike. Daniel Quadras isn't too happy with the call by John DeCesar behind the plate. He's going to take a minute to walk around, collect himself, and so is Shin. Takes a walk around the mound, now steps back on the rubber. It's 2-1 now, a 5-run ball game here in Palm Springs. Here's the pitch. It's low for ball 3. 88, Shin still able to light up the radar gun so far in this start. He's been sitting around 87 to 90 all day. 3-1 pitch. That's too high. Ball 4. Runners on the corners for Hunter Anderson.
I was going to say, that had to have been a challenge situation because of the danger that Hunter Anderson poses in the on-deck circle now hitting. And this is a interesting mound visit from Ray Chang because I do think it might be the end of the line for Shin. I thought he might give him a chance to get out of the inning, but he's seen enough baseball to know that he would rather have Hunter Anderson facing a new arm than a guy he's faced already twice today.
Again, Hunter Anderson hitting nearly 700 on the year, hitting in the mid-600s. He's the leader on the Rush in hits, a PSCL All-Star, and he'll face off against a new pitcher. Shin's day is done on the mound, but what a day it was. 1 run on 5 hits right now, but he's on the hook for Sky Palmer and Daniel Quadras on the corners. We'll be right back after warm-ups.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST. and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice. So get started today.
Think of the highest quality you can imagine. Now, think higher.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Back here in the 4th inning, and MLB China in their first real bind. We've got a new man on the mound. It's Jonathan Haynes, the ace of this staff. First pitch to Hunter Anderson is ball 1. An announcement, it'll be Coyotes and Blue Sox tomorrow on the turf field at 8:30 for round 2 of the PSCL playoffs. Jonathan Haynes starts off 2-0 against Hunter Anderson, a man you don't want to be behind. But he's got 2 outs now, runners on the corners. Fires in a breaking ball that catches the edge of the zone for strike 1. Haynes on the season, 2.84 ERA. 12 2/3 innings pitched, and he's coming off a scoreless outing against the Lumberjacks. Fires in a 68-mile-an-hour breaking pitch for strike 2.
He's really leading with the breaking ball right now. I'd be surprised to see him go away from it. But if he does, it has to be a fastball that's either outside or elevated in the zone.
Runners on the corners. Deuce is wild here in the 4th. Ball 3 in the dirt.
It's just so hard the way that Hunter Anderson controls the bat, especially with 2 strikes, where you really can't leave anything over the plate, but at the same time you want to challenge him and not put him on.
Haynes with the full count. 3-2 pitch driven down the right field line, foul into the China dugout. Or past the China dugout, almost into their bullpen. It's still full. Runners on the corners. It's Sky Palmer at third after he reached with a leadoff single, stole third base. And Daniel Quadras at first after he walked, and he was the last batter that Hush Shin faced. Payoff pitch in the dirt. Ball 4 gets away from Zion. Coming in to score is Sky Palmer, and it's 6-2 now.
Blocking is such a tough art because you are told to just keep the ball in front of you. And Zion does that, essentially. The only problem is that he doesn't cushion it enough and get the angle with his chest where he can have the ball just fall in front of him. He stays a little more straight up than he would like, and it just leads to a ball squirting away a lot farther than he wanted it to.
And now he's got runners on first and second. Colin McCormick up. Line drive to second base, no big deal. Throw down to first, 3 outs here, but not before the Rush put up another run. It's 6-2 now. going into the top of the 5th here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Six-two ball game here in Palm Springs. Derek Ball going out for his second inning of work. And he'll face off against Jun Wei Shin, Tai Jane Fung, and Yuo Yan. Another update. Ha Shin went to second base that last inning as a defensive substitution. He'll in all likelihood still be hitting in that leadoff spot, but it's a question of if Joe Shin Pin will still be in that 10 spot if they've thrown him over to a DH or not. But right now, it's Jun Wei Shin, the left fielder for MLB China, due up to lead off the inning with a 4-run lead here in the PSCL playoffs. First pitch by Ball, 81 outside, but gets the call.
Unorthodox inning, last inning for Derek Ball. It's the first 0 that's been thrown up, but at the same time, he put on his own traffic. So he's probably going to be looked to get himself back into the zone a little more consistently and not have to deal with the traffic that was self-induced.
Tries to stretch the zone a little more. Quadras can't get the call. It's 1-1 now, 82 outside. Jun Wei Shin watches the third pitch and skies that one into right field. Coming in on it is Bautista, and fighting the sun, catches that for the first out of the inning.
Joseph Cook is still warming in the Rush bullpen, and it looks like it'll be a bullpen game the rest of the way through. Derek Ball's only goal here is to provide damage control, Steven. He's not looking to sit down 1, 2, 3. He needs to battle and make sure this lead doesn't get any bigger before your lineup gets through for a third time.
And the key for Ball is mitigating the walks. If he can mitigate traffic, he can keep this team in it. Starts off with a ball there. It's 1-0 for Tai Jane Fung, who had an RBI single in the third inning. Same inning when China scored 3 runs. Liner right up the middle, slow roller to Ball. He'll take it himself all the way. Sprint down to first, and we've got 2 outs here in the 5th inning.
This would fall under the category of damage control well done if Derek's able to go 1, 2, 3 and get him. Again, there's plenty of time left in this game for the rush. It just has to be quick, and when you're facing a tough pitcher in Jonathan Haynes, you need to make sure that you're not standing out there on defense too long. You can go back and sit down, get a drink of water, and then recoup and be ready to go.
Yuo Yan steps into the box, and the first pitch is fouled back off the net. And what a better way to mitigate base runners trying to work short innings than induce soft contact and do it all yourself. Run it over to first base. take control into your own hands. It's 0-1 now. Chopper back to ball again, and he's getting all the PFPs today. 1-3 putout, and it's the first 1-2-3 inning for either team today. Going to the bottom of the 5th. Rush down 4.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
We just got our best ever ratings from U.S. News and World Report. We're the #1 hospital in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. High performing in 17 common procedures from joint replacements to heart attack care. And for the first time, national ranking as high performing in 3 adult specialties. We're proud of these ratings, but what matters most, as always, is how we rate with you.
Six to 2 ball game here today in the PSCL playoffs. As you can see on your screen, it'll be Blue Sox facing off against the Coyotes in round 2 of PSCL action. Right now, we've got round 1 going with MLB China and Rush, the second game of the Southern Division. First pitch from Jonathan Haynes. Swung on and missed by Caden Dawson for strike 1. Dawson in the rush. It's getting to be crunch time in the 5th inning. Down 4. They put up a run last inning. Chased Hush in after he worked 4 beautiful innings. Or 3 plus innings. Managed to get a couple outs. Left with 2 outs and Hunter Anderson coming up. And it's 1-1 now. Swing and a miss on 72 away. Hush in left after he walked Daniel Quadras. Jonathan Haynes walked Hunter Anderson, and a wild pitch scored Sky Palmer. It's 1-2 now, or 2-2 now. To Caden Dawson, who's 1 for 2, singled, reached third in the first, and struck out in the third. 2-2 pitch to Dawson. In the dirt, ball 3. Or that's called a strike, but it was dropped. Throw down to first in time. Drop third strike, gets Caden Dawson on a... I guess they called it a check swing. I guess he went around.
And I think that Caden Dawson knew it as well, because he checked it and his momentum started to go towards first base. So if there is an argument from Zach Novus, it's also going to come with the fact that Caden Dawson knew he kind of went around. And another tough break. He got rung up on strikes his last time up, and doesn't look like he's been seeing the ball particularly well as he usually does.
First pitch to Santiago Duarte, down and away for ball 1. Duarte 1 for 2, doubled in the third, struck out in the first. And it's been great for the Rush all year long. 1-0 pitch. Up and in, ball 2. Again, the Rush are down 6-2. China scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, none since. The Rush scored 1 in the first and 1 last inning. Curveball falls in and doesn't catch enough of the zone. It's 3 balls, no strikes now. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 out here in Game 2 of a PSCL playoff doubleheader. 3-0 pitch. catches the zone. 81 on the bottom. It's 3-1 now.
If you're Jonathan Haynes, what you have to make sure you do is you force the rush to get back into this on their own doing. They're going to get their hits. What's important to make sure is that there aren't free passes in front of them that turn into runs.
3-1 pitch. Dribbler to third base. Corralled in. Throw down to first is a long one in time. 5-3 put out and a great throw by Yuo Yan.
Yan is the recipient of a hop that takes a big chop off the bat of Duarte and then hits that lip between the infield cut of the grass and the dirt. So it goes from a high chopper to just going to a low line, and he's able to still stay with it, keep the bend in his knees enough to where he can still be athletic enough to make that throw across. Beautiful fundamentals by the third baseman.
We've seen a couple tough hops all day, but China has been able to stay sound defensively. First pitch fouled off by Nathan Cunningham, who's got a ton of pop in that bat, but no one on. No one on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball below the zone had him fooled. And again, you mentioned the free passes by Jonathan Haynes, and that's the key today. He's walked 10 in just 12 2/3 innings coming today. But that 2.84 ERA, and he's gotten away with it and gets away here. 1-2-3 inning, strikes out a pair. And we'll go to the top of the 6th. MLB China, 6 defensive outs away from pulling off the upset.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Two locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
Six to 2 ball game here in the PSCL. Again, the 5 seed MLB China DC on that lowest game in the bracket against the Rush today, trying to pull off the upset. They are 6 outs away. Facing off against the Rush right now here in the top of the 6th inning. First pitch by Derek Ball is a called strike. Derek Ball out for his 3rd inning of work. Facing off against what should be 9-10-1 of the China order. Sung Ja Chi steps in and takes ball 1. It's 1-1 now.
So now we have our clarification on the substitution earlier. Jonathan Haynes, we forget, is a two-way player. So it was just a straight-up switch between him and Joe Shin Pin. He's in the on-deck circle right now.
Joe Shin Pin, final line for him. He was 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. And it's 1-2 now to Sung Ja Chi. Jonathan Haynes on deck. The pitch by Ball. Outside in the dirt, it's 2 balls. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Looks like they've got Joseph Cook warming up in the bullpen right now for the Rush. And you got to wonder how long of a leash Zach Novus, Tino Novus, and that whole Rush staff and bench will give Derek ball here. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Caught by Quadras back there. Couldn't tell if it was fouled off, but it's a strikeout all the same. One out here. It's Jonathan Haynes stepping up.
Yeah, he's batted .212 this season. He has 5 RBIs to go along with 7 hits, so can hold his own at the plate. This isn't a courtesy thing. He's been trusted time and time again for Ray Chang this season.
Haynes watches ball 1.
And the final line for Shin after the run did come in. He went 3 2/3. He gave up 2 runs, both of them earned off 5 hits, 3 walks to go along with 3 strikeouts.
And you mentioned Haynes can do it with the bat too. Had 5 RBIs on the year, and it's a 1-1 count now. Nobody on for Haynes, trying to start an inning, trying to put up another number for China. They're up 4 with 6 defensive outs to go to pull off the upset. 1-1 pitch by Ball. Chopper to third, fielded by Cunningham. Throw down to first, in time to get Haynes. He'll go back to the dugout and get ready to finish off the next couple outs for China.
You get the sense of, late in ball games back when the National League didn't have the DH, and if a starter was still going and going strong, he would go take his at-bat. And kind of similar to that, Haynes didn't exactly give the hardest 90 out of the box, but you get the feeling that everybody in the dugout was completely okay with him just taking the at-bat and going to focus on pitching.
Especially with the play, it was most likely going to be out either way. It was a solid chopper to third. Cunningham didn't need to wait for it to come to him. He didn't need to charge it. Was able to set his feet, deliver a strong throw. He probably would have been out either way.
This isn't the situation for it, but I compare it to when a pitcher has a no-hitter going, 1 hit going, and he takes his at-bat as his ball runs inside.
It's 2-0 now to Shin.
And nobody bats an eye because they know that his main job at this point in the game is to throw strikes and get them through the next 6 defensive outs.
2-0 pitch. Shin watches strike 1 just off the plate, gets the call. Good job by Quadras right there. Set up outside and gets the outside call. 2-1 pitch. Skied down the right field line, foul. Going after it is Dawson, fighting the sun, and that carries almost to the bullpen and drops down. It's strike 2 now. Two and 2 to Shin, who walks back to the plate, taking his time, adjusting his batting gloves. He's 1 for 3 so far today, scored in the first. But more importantly, through the first 3 innings of the game. First 3 2/3 innings, allowed 2 runs in just 4 hits. Ball 3 inside.
Ball has found some control after walking 3 batters in his first inning of work in the 4th, and he hasn't been able to, or he needs to be able to continue that in order to get out of here in the 6th.
Payoff pitch. Chopper back to Ball. 3rd time he's had to field his position. Throw down to first in time. Another 0 out of the Rush bullpen. It's a 6-2 game going to the bottom of the 6th. The Rush need to get things going on offense. We'll be right back after a break.
Across the Coachella Valley, you'll find our communities powered by short-term rentals. These rentals bring visitors and dollars to the region. Whether attending events, checking out the art scene, or dining at restaurants, when they spend money, we all score. The nearly $1 billion impact of short-term vacation rentals generates tax revenues that fund police, firefighters, education, and many other programs that improve our daily lives. To learn why short-term rentals are a grand slam for the home team, visit onecv.org.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
Six to 2 ball game here in Palm Springs. A beautiful day. Game 2 of the playoff doubleheader for the PSCL. Jonathan Haynes out for another inning of work, facing off against Sky Palmer, who was the last run recorded against Hushin. Last run that the Rush have been able to play. Palmer watches one fall out of the sky into the zone. Breaking ball for strike 1. Palmer 1 for 2 today, stole third base in the 4th inning, and scored on a single. 0-1 pitch. Outside, can't get the corner. It's 1-1 now. Jonathan Haynes looking to shut this Rush offense down, trying to close out the game. 1-1 pitch. Floated out into center field. Jachi stumbled a little bit. Looked like he wasn't going to be able to get to that, but it hung up long enough for him to recover and goes down as a fly out to 8, but a little bit of an unconventional one.
And he stays with it. That's the important part to note here. The sun is right in his face. That's why we've seen a couple of infielders battle infield pop-ups, and it's still right in the face of Chi, but staying with it good enough to where he can maintain his composure long enough to still make the grab.
First pitch strike delivered to Alan Serna, and it's been that kind of day for China so far. Everything's landed their way. Even when they've had miscues, they've been able to settle and make the outs. It's been close, but it's been great so far for them. Chopper to second, throw down from Hushin. And it's in time to get Alan Serna for the second out of the inning. The starting pitcher helping the guy who took over for him.
The tension in the Rush dugout right now is palpable. I mean, if you just see the runs down to first base right now, they're not as aggressive as they were early. Not noting anything terrible, but you get the sense that the Rush are feeling on their heels. They are 4 outs away from an amazing summer season coming to an end against a 5 seed in their own division.
First pitch to Alec Bautista is called a strike. And it was an amazing season. The Rush, second place in the Southern Division, just behind the Lumberjacks, who came in at 12-6. Rush 10-7-1. Ball 1 outside. And they're facing off against MLB China DC, who's trying to start a Cinderella run for the ages here. Came into the playoffs at 4-14, and they've got the number 2 seed on the ropes. 1-2 now with 2 outs. MLB China just 4 outs away from completing the upset. They've led the whole game so far. It's 6-2 here, bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch. Chopper down the right field line, foul. And a team that, again, they've brought almost 40 players over from China, a couple of them American-born, including Jonathan Haynes and Owen Stevenson, trying to make a run here. Liner out into right center field, going back on it is Jane Fung, but that's going to fall for a hit. A 2-out base runner, Alec Bautista on first, Daniel Quadras coming up.
Bautista came in today only batting .241, but it's his 8th hit of the season, and This is a rush team. I've mentioned it a couple of times. You cannot fall asleep on them for the simple fact that they are more than willing to score runs with not only 2 strikes but 2 outs as well. And all it takes is one. That could be the one, but they need to get going quick.
And EJ, the American-born Jonathan Haynes out of Wells College, it's his game to win or lose here. After just 3 appearances, there is nobody warming up in the China pen with, again, 4 defensive outs to go. $80 miles an hour, caught a lot of the plate, does not get the call. A little bit high against Quadras, 1-0. 80 on the corner, it's 1-1 now. Quadras 0 for 1. He walked in the 4th inning, and he was the last batter Hushin faced. Hushin now at second base. 1-1 pitch. Fouled back.
And right as you mentioned that, a couple of gray jerseys have gone down to the bullpen for DC China should Jonathan Haynes run into any trouble for the rest of this inning and into the 7th. This is territory where Ray Chang can actually play his cards how he imagines before he got to the field this morning.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and China is 3 outs away from pulling off the upset. Jonathan Haynes has not allowed a run yet. And we're going into the top of the 7th here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network. Six to 2 ball game here in the 7th inning. MLB China DC trying to put away the rush, trying to add on to their 4-run lead here. Joseph Cook in on the mound out of College of the Desert, a sophomore who had an up and down season but ended it with 2 straight scoreless outings. His last one against the Bootleggers in the last game of the year for the Rush. Went 3 innings, did not allow a run on just 1 hit, walked 4, struck out 1. But he's facing off against Pen Ziyan, the backstop for MLB China. The game started out with Tommy Mitchell. He just went 3 innings. Then it went to Derek Ball. He took over for the next couple, and now we've got Joseph Cook on the mound. The power immediately got on Tommy Mitchell. Put up 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third. Have not scored since. The Rush bullpen has done a great job so far. But MLB China DC, that 6-run lead, They're hoping it's enough so far, and they're hoping they can add to it. It's 1-1 now.
An insurance run would be crucial if you're MLB DC China in this spot because the Rush can score in bunches. They've proven it all year.
Liner to second, caught by Duarte. It's the first out of the inning. And a tough break there in a game where MLB China has not had many tough breaks.
No, not at all. And right now warming in the visiting bullpen is Jung He should Jonathan Haynes need any help getting out of the 7th.
Again, we'd assume that it is Jonathan Haynes' game to finish because there was no one even up in the bullpen in the bottom of the 6th when he closed that out. Right now it's Zhao Luan at the plate and Owen Stevenson on deck. Luan had probably the hardest hit ball of the day, and it's 1-0 now. Probably the hardest hit of the ball of the day. A triple off the wall in the 3rd inning. He walked in the 4th. And here in the 7th, trying to add on. Strike 1 catches the corner, 80 on the black. If Luan or Stevenson can reach, Leo Chung Shun will come up to plate. It's 1-1 now. Or 2-1 now. 2-1 pitch from Cook. Swung on and missed. Count evens up at 2. 1 out here in the 7th inning in the first round of the PSCL playoffs. The number 5 MLB DC China trying to pull off the improbable upset against the Rush. The Rush came in at 10-7. They are the number 2 seed. 2-2 pitch. Or 3-2 pitch outside, and it's ball 4. Another base runner with 1 out for China.
And because of the situation here, I don't think that you put anything on. I think you let Owen Stevenson, your best hitter, take his hacks that he wants to. You don't try to force him out of anything, for example, a hit and run or anything like that. You let Owen get his 3 cuts.
Owen Stevenson, the big all-star, American-born for MLB China DC, had 2 hits in the PSCL All-Star game against the Power on 4th of July. He's behind 0-1, but has reached twice today and scored. Had a single in the 1st, got hit by pitch in the 3rd. He's down 0-2 now. He's got Zhao Luan at first. A 4-run lead for MLB China DC. 0-2 pitch floats in there for ball 1. Ray Chang trying to take this incredible group of young men on a playoff run and trying to buy themselves a date with the Lumberjacks. 1-2 pitch just off the corner for ball 2. Owen Stevenson swings and misses. 81 up in the zone, and he was just under it. Looking for another breaking ball, and he strikes out for his first time tonight.
Well, if he is looking for a breaking ball, there's a reason why 81 looked like it blew it by him. With a spin rate of over 2,100 RPMs, it plays faster than a regular old flat fastball. That means he has a heavier fastball than you typically see, and that's a huge out coming against one of the most feared hitters, not only in this lineup, but in the PSCL.
Leo Chung Shun takes ball 1 outside against Joseph Cook, who has not faced MLB China yet this season. Again, his last outing was against the Bootleggers, 3 scoreless innings. Walked 4, struck out 1, and runners going. Throw down to second. In time to get him. The Rush are 3 outs away. They've got a chance, but they need to put up runs. Right now, Jonathan Haynes looks like he'll go back out for the bottom of the 7th here in Palm Springs. We'll be right back. Rush down to their final 3 outs after a great throw by Quadras.
Across the Coachella Valley, you'll find our communities powered by short-term rentals. These rentals bring visitors and dollars to the region. Whether attending events, checking out the art scene, or dining at restaurants, when they spend money, we all score. The nearly $1 billion impact of short-term vacation rentals generates tax revenues that fund police, firefighters, education, and many other programs that improve our daily lives. To learn why short-term rentals are a grand slam for the home team, visit onecv.org.
We are down to possibly the final frame here in Palm Springs. The Rush have to play from behind. They're down 6-2 now against MLB China, but what a better spot to be than here. Top of the lineup due up, Hunter Anderson leading us off against Jonathan Haynes. Here in round one of the PSCL playoffs. MLB China 3 outs away from starting their Cinderella run. Ball one outside from Jonathan Haynes, who it's his game right now. They've got a pitcher warming up in the bullpen, but unless he gets in trouble, you'd assume he's got these 3 outs. Ball two gets away from Penzi Yan, and it's thrown over to the Rush dugout. Assuming they're on deck, hitter Colin McCormick will bring that over. If China can win, they will face off against the Lumberjacks tomorrow. Ball 3 outside. Jonathan Haynes came in after Hush Shin pitched the first 3 innings. First 3 2/3, Jonathan Haynes came in against Hunter Anderson. He was the first batter he faced. Allowed just 1 run to score, but that was Hush Shin's run. Breaking ball can't find the zone. It's a leadoff walk. Hunter Anderson on for his 3rd time today.
As you see everybody about to start seeing Jonathan Haynes for the 2nd time today, I'm going to be having my eyes on Ray Chang this entire time to see how long the leash is. This is his best pitcher, but you have somebody ready to go in the bullpen and a 4-run lead to protect.
First pitch to McCormick inside for ball 1. 5 straight balls to start the inning for Jonathan Haynes. Ray Chang seems pretty calm over there, and that bullpen has not moved yet, or in that dugout. Second pitch catches the zone. 72 on the inside corner. A good job by Penzi Yan getting the call. Hunter Anderson on first, and China with a 6-2 lead now. 6 runs on 7 hits. The Rush just 2 on 6 hits. 1-1 pitch. Just below the zone, ball 2. Hushin started the game off. Has a hit, had an RBI fielder's choice, and is now playing second. Jonathan Haynes in his 4th appearance of the year, but it's his most important, trying to close out the game. Work 3 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball. 3-1 pitch catches the zone. It's a full count.
We've been treated to some amazing finishes, not only here at the stadium, but on the backfield today, Steven. And what's one more to finish off what has been an amazing opening round of the tournament?
3-2 pitch from Haynes. Can't find the zone. It's back-to-back walks to lead things off.
And here comes Ray Chang. I was starting to think that if this isn't a direct change, this is at least a visit to get his pitcher in the bullpen some more time. And Jung He is the one warming in the bullpen, the right-hander
Jung He doesn't seem to be working particularly quick. His catcher isn't even crouched right now. Kind of just feeling things out. Looks like Ray Chang's just going to have a talk to Jonathan Haynes, try and either give a little bit of motivational speech or try and just change up the mindset, maybe a scouting report, but in all likelihood, just trying to get a different train of thought going.
Well, at this point, I think the important thing for Ray to get through to Jonathan is that no harm has been done yet. You have a 4-run lead. Now, the free passes are going to come back and haunt you if you are to give up runs, but the 2 runs mean nothing. The only thing that matters at the end of these 3 outs, at the end of this frame, is that you have more than the rush. So you can play with these 2 runners if it means that you go after these hitters and make them get themselves out and stop allowing the free passes.
Jonathan Haynes facing off against Caden Dawson. Fires a first pitch breaking ball that catches the outside corner for a strike. The tying run is on deck. It would be Santiago Duarte winning run in the hole, Nathan Cunningham. It's 0-1 with no outs here in the 7th inning. A 1 pitch fouled back. 0-2 now.
With as dangerous of a hitter as Caden Dawson has become, he has struck out twice today. He hasn't seen breaking pitches particularly well. And I would think that Jonathan Haynes would not throw anything really over the plate and try to see if he can get Dawson to chase. He's done it once already, and he's gotten froze on a changeup earlier in the game. So either a changeup off the plate or going a fastball up would be the train of thought that I'm thinking right now, Steven. But the only thing with the fastball up is you have to make sure that it actually gets up.
And a bit of a unnerving sight here as Pen Ziyan, who's had a great day behind the plate so far, seems to have some sort of discomfort in his hand. Not going to test it there as the warm-up pitch by Jonathan Haynes goes all the way to the backstop. It looks like it might be his catching hand, and he gives Ray Chang and everyone the words that they need. They all walk back to the dugout, and it's Caden Dawson coming up. It's 0-2 now for Caden Dawson. He's got Hunter Anderson on second, Colin McCormick on first. Jonathan Haynes trying to finish off this first game of the playoffs. 0-2 pitch. Flied out into right center field. Going back on it is Jia Chi. And that's caught. Tagging up from second, going to third is Hunter Anderson, and there's runners on the corners with 1 out.
If you're MLB DC China, you absolutely take that. It's too good of a pitch, 0-2. Jonathan Haynes would be the first one to tell you. But you trade 90 feet for a run that hasn't even scored yet for an out any day of the week. Now you're able to zone back in on the hitter at the plate. The double play ball is still in order with Colin McCormick not advancing on the sac fly. So you're in a much better spot than you were 30 seconds ago if you're Jonathan Haynes.
And what a spot for Haynes. What a spot for this entire MLB China team. With 1 out and a double play ball could get you out of this game. They have not trailed for the entire game. First pitch to Santiago Duarte outside for ball 1. Have not trailed for the entire game. Again, scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third. And this is a team that has won just 2 of their last 8. Runners will go, or run Caden Dawson Colin McCormick from first base takes second. No throw down with the threat of Hunter Anderson coming from home. Hunter Anderson started the inning with a walk. Colin McCormick walked to follow that up. Caden Dawson flew out to center field. And it's Santiago Duarte up with 1 out, 2 on, and a 1-2 count. No chance at the double play ball unless another outfield assist in all likelihood. It's a 4-run game. Jonathan Haynes gets the sign, gets set, and fires. 1-2 pitch outside.
You really don't mind that stolen base other than the fact that it takes the double play out of order because, again, the Rush are chasing 4 runs. All of your attention has to go to the batter. If you give up a run here on a ground ball or a fly ball, that's great, but you have 2 outs.
2-2 pitch. Upstairs, can't get the call. It's 3-2 now. Full count with 1 out.
And you do have a base open still, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to an off-speed pitch and see if Duarte can expand his own zone.
3-2 pitch. Chopper to short. Throw down to first. Will not happen. Bobbled on the play by Chong Shin, and a run will score. It's 6-3 on the E6. Runners on the corners again.
And that's just the killer because it looked like Chung Shun had plenty of time and it looked like he got the hop cleanly. It was the exchange where he might have looked up just a second before he was able to make the throw, taking his concentration off of it, and that's where the error comes from. The defense for MLB China, who has played such a clean defensive game, it comes back and it rears its ugly head right now with the tying run at the plate.
Got a pinch runner for the Rush. It's Christian Angulo running for Santiago Duarte. Chopper to second, gets over the head and into right field. 1 run will score. Colin McCormick comes in, and it's 6-4 now. Nathan Cunningham, RBI single, and Sky Palmer, the winning run at the plate for the Rush.
Ray Chang seems completely okay with letting Jonathan Haynes handle the rest of this. You still get the double play back in order, though, if you are DC China.
First pitch up and almost gets away from Penzi Yan. Both runners think about going, but go back to their respective bases. Sky Palmer 1 for 3 on the day, scored in the 3rd on a single. And he's even 1-1 with 1 out. He's got Santiago Duarte at second, Nathan Cunningham at first. The only run that matters, though, is his. 1-1 pitch. Chopper to first. Takes the tag there. Throw down to second. Gets away. Coming in to score is Colin McCormick. It's 6-5 now, and that gets away from Yizon. Going to third. Santiago Duarte, the tying run, is 90 feet away. In a game where MLB China has had full control, has been calm, cool, and collected the entire game, they've played great defense so far. You get 2 errors late. And right here, they've got the winning run at the plate with 2 outs. First pitch fouled off by Alan Serna. Second pitch to Serna. That one almost gets through, diving play, throw down to first, and it's not in time! Alan Serna with the RBI single. The Rush have came all the way back.
Unorthodox slide into first from Serna is the reason why this goes as a bang-bang play. It's an outstanding stop in the hole from Chung Shun. But Alan Serna gave a hard 90 the entire way through. He knew that there was a chance that wasn't getting through to the outfield. And instead, he comes up and takes the biggest swing of the day to keep the Rush in it and perhaps prolong their season.
The Rush taking us to a conversation we had hardly had throughout the game. They've got a chance to win it here. The winning run on first, Alan Serna, Alec Bautista behind 0-1 against Jonathan Haynes, who is still out there. We've got 2 outs in a tie ball game in the 7th. Down 0-2 now as he swings over the breaking ball.
Anthony Sanchez warming in the Rush bullpen.
Anthony Sanchez, who threw in the last game of the regular season against the Bootleggers 4 great innings, did not allow a run, and did not allow a run in the PSCL All-Star game. It's 0-2 now. Throw down to second. Gets away from Shin Pin. Collected by Chong Shun. So there's a runner on second now. Alan Serna, the winning run in scoring position. But it's 0-2, or should be 1-2 now. 1-2 against Alan Serna. Takes ball 2. It was close but fell out of the zone. Two-two pitch. It's 3-0 now. They've got Danny Martinez at second, Chopper to second, throw down to first in time. Jonathan Haynes gets out of the inning, but not before the Rush come roaring back. 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th, and we'll go to extra innings for the 3rd time here in Palm Springs.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
There's something winning in the agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Get ready, everyone. We've got extra innings in the PSCL for the 2nd time on the stadium games today. MLB China looking to take one that they thought that they had easily earlier today. They were up 6-2 going into the 7th inning. But the Rush came all the way back. It's 6-6 now. And who better for the Rush than Anthony Sanchez on the mound?
Anthony's been one of the best pitchers in the PSCL all season long as he delivers a ball upstairs. But this season, started all 4 of his games. He is 3-0 with a 1.35 ERA, 37 strikeouts in 20 innings pitched.
He's been one of the best, if not the best pitcher in the PSCL all year long. And talking to Tino and Zach Novus over the last couple of days, they were hesitant to use them. They wanted to save him, but they need him here with the season on the line, facing off against Liu Chengshun in extra innings. It's 2-1 now as the fastball rides outside. Chengshun, 1 for 2 so far, scored on a walk, had a 2 RBI single in the first, and he steps out and takes time.
What is important to note from this outing for Sanchez, Steven, is that he didn't get his usual warm-up time. He's not a reliever, and he got really sent on a fire drill where he maybe threw 5 to 8 pitches, and then he got put into the game.
2-1 pitch, catches the corner of the zone. It's strike 2 now.
Yeah, not to say that he can't handle it, but it is a different beast when you're going from relieving to starting.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Anthony Sanchez with the first strikeout of the 8th inning. Comes in to put out a fire and extend the Rush's season. And right now he's 1 for 1.
How good do you have to be to where you can roll off from the dugout and be able to throw 87? He's just been so fun to watch.
Jun Wei-Shin steps in. And he takes a called first strike, 86. And we saw Anthony Sanchez during the PSCL All-Star game. He was sitting right in that range. Chopper down the left field line, foul into the Rush dugout. But he was sitting around 84 to 88 with the big crowd. He came in and did his job. Sanchez through the 2nd inning, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, but kept the PSCL ahead. It's 0-2 now. Pinpoint 74 on the corner. Gets Jun Wei-Shin looking. 2 strikeouts start the inning for Anthony Sanchez.
He just tunnels so well out of that 6-3 frame, a fastball to go along with a 12-6 breaking ball. This is what makes it difficult because you have to react to a fastball that's running away from you and a curveball that has as much movement as any pitcher you're going to face all summer long. This is prime time for Anthony Sanchez.
Tai Jane Fung in, and he's got one job, extend the inning and give China a chance to extend the game. 1-0 pitch outside is ball 2. He's got 2 outs and nobody on here in the 8th inning. He's 1 for 3, had an RBI single in the 3rd inning. 2-0 pitch. Blue 84 right by him over the heart of the plate. Couldn't catch up. It's strike 1. Jane Fung trying to get a base runner for China, who's trying to at least guarantee a 9th inning. Swings right through 85 down the middle. Back-to-back fastballs for Anthony Sanchez, and Jane Fung has not adjusted. 2-2 now. Blew it by him at 86, strikes out the side. Anthony Sanchez take a bow. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. China trying to extend the game. The Rush trying to end it and trying to end China's season. We'll be right back.
Two locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Bottom of the 8th inning. China needs 3 outs to extend their season to the 9th. The Rush, they don't want to take it there. Will Dalton pitch hitting for Daniel Quadras in the 9-hole. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Rush, who at some points in the game, they looked like they were dead in the water. They were down 6-1, went into the 7th inning down 6-2, and an improbable comeback, 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th to come all the way back and force extras. Anthony Sanchez came in and struck out the side, and here we are. Jung He on the mound taking over for Haynes. First pitch by He is lined to second base. Diving was the first baseman, and that throw gets away from He. Rounding going to second is Will Dalton. And after an E4, we've got a base runner in scoring position. Runner on second, no outs. Hunter Anderson at the plate. Who better than the leader in hits for your team, the leading batting average for the PSCL? Hunter Anderson hitting well over 600, and he's 1 for 3 on the day. But he has a single and grounded into an RBI, fielder's choice.
The only guy in the league with 20 hits, batting .613. And as you said, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ray Chang pitch around him here, set up a force all the way around. You have a base open to work with, and it's not like the rest of this order is any easier to deal with, but you have McCormick, who's 0 for 3 with a walk, and you have Caden Dawson, who's 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. So you have 3 strikeouts today over the next 2 batters, and I would expect them to try to be very careful in pitching to Anderson.
Hunter Anderson out of Chaparral High School hitting .613 on the season. Has 6 RBIs so far this season. None would be bigger than this one right here. Trying to send the Rush home happy, trying to end Ray Chang and MLB China DC's season. It's 1-0 now against Jung He. 1-0 pitch, chopped up the middle. That's a base hit. Rounding third, coming home is Will Dalton, and there will be no play at the plate in time. Will Dalton scores. Hunter Anderson, the walk-off hero. Hunter Anderson walks it off and gets the Rush a bye in the next round. The A's will play the Lumberjacks. And in a game where it looked like MLB China had everything going their way, they had a 6-1 lead. The Rush never were out. They never quit. They kept going. And after a 4-run 7th inning and a walk-off in the 8th, they will continue.
What a game that we just saw. And we'll go aside here for a minute. There's a situation on the field right now. The tournament bracket up for anybody to take a look at. It looks like the shortstop, Chung Shun, he's down on the ground right now. He's being tended to by Faith Madison, one of the athletic trainers, along with Ray Chang and a couple of his teammates. So it's a sad sight to see. MLB China, before we get into talking about the Rush, and it's well-deserved. MLB DC China put the biggest scare that you can imagine into a team in the Rush that have championship aspirations. And they took them all the way to extra innings, and it really became a battle of the bullpens. And in this situation, it really was the Rush who held out and had one more ace up their sleeve with Anthony Sanchez in the 8th.
Both teams will shake hands, and you said it, though. They didn't just put a scare. They had the Rush on the ropes, the second-best team in the Southern Division, the third-best team in the PSCL, by record. The Rush coming into this game 10-7-1. They were down 6-1. They couldn't do anything against MLB China DC's pitching, whether it was Hushin or Jonathan Haynes, and then the wheels fell off in the 7th inning. The Rush were able to string together a few hits thanks to a couple passed balls as well. They managed to come back 4 runs in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, and an improbable comeback win.
It was the defense that MLB China has struggled with throughout the season that really led to their demise, and you have to give a tip of your cap to Ray Chang. Since this is the last time we'll be able to send his story out on the air, what a story it is. You can only hope the best for MLB China as they progress their way through the rest of their journey on the way, hopefully to a 2028 qualifying chance in the 2028 Olympics. We have to thank Ray and the entire staff for being so gracious to us from a media perspective, always giving us the information we need. And it's a sad sight to see MLB China no longer in the PSCL season because they really, really did an outstanding job representing not only themselves but the organization they come from.
MLB China DC and overall the international future of that Chinese baseball program are in good hands under Ray Chang, but we will go to break right now. We'll see if we can get you a post-game interview, but for right now, the Rush will move on. An incredible come-from-behind win for the Rush for Tino and Zach Novus. We'll go to break, and we'll see if we can get you that interview.
Across the Coachella Valley, you'll find our communities powered by short-term rentals. These rentals bring visitors and dollars to the region. Whether attending events, checking out the art scene, or dining at restaurants, when they spend money, we all score. The nearly $1 billion impact of short-term vacation rentals generates tax revenues that fund police, firefighters, education, and many other programs that improve our daily lives. To learn why short-term rentals are a grand slam for the home team, visit onecv.org.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert.
MLB China falls to the Rush in an incredible come-from-behind win. The walk-off hero. We've got Hunter Anderson in the press box with us, and what was going through your mind on that final play?
Well, it was a big game. First shout out Sanchez for letting us be in that spot. But I came up, I saw the first guy get on. I honestly thought, lay it down, let the next guy go, put him to third. But the guy behind me said, in the game right here. So I just stick to my game. I'm not a big power guy, but just stick to my game, hit it on the ground, show my speed, and it ended out good for the Rush.
You guys are down 6-2 in the bottom of the 7th. it never looked like you guys thought you were out of it. You start piecing together base runner by base runner, whether it was taking your walks or a big hit from Allen in the hole where he has a hustle infield single to do it. Talk about the mindset and really the energy of the dugout going into that last inning.
Well, that's just kind of been our motto the whole season is, like, we're never out. No matter what the score is, I mean, the rush are going to come through. And, I mean, it just shows you the brand of baseball we play. We play high speed, high energy baseball, and sometimes the baseball gods will treat you right when you do that.
Now, we all know that you're never going to discount an opponent, but you're the 2 seed going up against MLB China, who is the bottom seed in your side of the bracket. What was the thought process when they immediately put up a crooked number in the first?
I mean, we were a little rattled. I mean, we've played China 3 times, and it's been close every time. So we know those guys are going to swing it. They had a great guy on the mound. But, I mean, we played behind our pitcher, Tommy. He got knocked around a bit in the first inning, but we told him, hey, we're just going to come and play rush baseball, and it never fazed any of us.
You advance on to the next round. What does the next 24 hours look like for you guys as a team? Is there going to be some scouting? There going to be some time to recoup because you have a heck of a matchup going against the winner of a Lumberjacks game, and you guys have been in this situation before. Take me through the next 24 hours for you guys as a ball club.
Yeah. So tomorrow we'll probably get out, swing. Pitchers that didn't throw today will throw a light pin, just get a feel for their pitches. And, yeah, we'll look a little bit at scouting, try to figure out who they got on the mound, see what his tendencies are. But at the end of the day, we attack every game the same. We just come out, balls to the wall, cleats on the ground, and that's just how we do it. So.
And you mentioned that you're not a big power guy, but you are statistically the hardest out to get in the PSCL. How much pride do you take in just the fact that you're able to put bat to the ball so much, and you're on base basically every other time you're on up to hit?
I mean, that's just – I do take a little bit of pride of it. You know, there's not a whole lot of Texas guys in this league, but back home, I mean, we ball, and I take the opportunities given to me. I'm a hard out, and I that's the way I play, and I have a lot of confidence every time I'm at the plate.
You guys never gave up. It was one of the better games I've seen all year, and one of the best comebacks you'll see in the PSCL. Hunter, thank you so much for your time. Congrats.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for all y'all do. Appreciate it. Go
man.
Rush.
Hunter Anderson, everybody, and he's the walk-off hero today. Again, scored Will Dalton in part of a miraculous come-from-behind win. Again, we can't stress it enough how far out it seemed that the Rush were for a good chunk of the game, and what a job MLB China did fighting them off. But right now, what's going to happen is the Rush will have the next round off. The A's will face off against the Lumberjacks. The Coyotes will face off against the Blue Sox, and the Colonials will have that bye after beating the Bombers in the first round. EJ, end of another PSCL day. What did you see?
Well, I think we just proved that Sam DiMattio's claim that this is the most talented year since he's been here in the PSCL is absolutely true. You have 3 games going to extra innings, and the one game that didn't came down to a scoring in the 7th inning. It comes down to the fact that all of these teams, whether you believe it or not, are as evenly matched as they can possibly be, and it comes down to which guys are going to show up. And at the end of the day, it's always you dance with the one that brung you. Hunter Anderson and Anthony Sanchez are 2 of the people that have brung the Rush to this point in the season. We can only hope that we have more games on the horizon that mimic the day that we had today. But I think I can't speak for you, but by far the most fun that we have had since we have arrived here in Palm Springs to call these games, and we can just look forward to more as the weekend progresses.
It was one of the most fun days I've had on a baseball field in general. Hunter Anderson, again, the walk-off hero. Will Dalton, the winning run. Anthony Sanchez, the winning pitcher, came in the 8th and fired a scoreless inning, striking out the side, and the loss will fall on Jung He for MLB China. Final score, 7-6. The Rush walk it off in 8 innings. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm Stephen Buxton, joined by EJ Sanchez, Ethan Gamolka doing the stats for us today. We thank everybody for joining in here on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.